So YouTube, Tag All Star here, and in today's video we're going to be going over a couple of chase runs that I've been doing online. And the whole point of this video is to kind of show you guys how I'm pretty much progressing with each run, and we're going to just analyze my runs and see how I did per run and how I got better in certain areas or got worse in certain areas, and what I'm looking for each time I do a run. So we're going to start out, we're going to be chasing this S650 Mustang online, and I'm in Tommy Lemaire's Corvette, which I really like. So right here I angled up too much, so I had to take some angle out to catch up to him. Kind of did a little hesitation on transition, trying not to hit him. We're doing pretty good so far, but then he ends up hitting the wall, which pretty much ruins our run. But overall right there, I need to stay on him and try not to get gapped, because when I get gapped, I kind of just beeline towards him, which throws off my line and makes me go too far inside. And when I go too far inside of the track, it throws my line completely off and just kind of messes up my chase. So here we go again. Now I'm getting gapped yet again, so now I'm trying to beeline to him. Went inside just a little bit. He taps the wall, which allows him to get away from me. I catch up to him, but right here I break a little too late, which puts me too far on the inside, so I kind of like panic to not hit him. And then I panicked again right here, trying not to hit him going into the last inner clip. Now we're gonna see how I do it in the lead. Click in. I actually initiated way too late, so now I'm going to hit the wall, and that pretty much ended the run right there. And I was commonly doing it, kind of initiating a little too late and going in too fast. So we're going to initiate with him. Pretty good line by both of us. Good transition back around. I'm pulling a little bit more angle to him, so he's able to get away from me just a little bit. He taps the wall. Good on that. Touch and go, and we're pretty decent on the inner clip. We both could be a little bit closer to it, but overall that was a decent run. And as you guys can see, we're progressing with our driving as I'm like learning his driving style and he's learning mine. Let's see how we do this lead run. Almost backwards, but again, I'm initiating a little too late and I just saved it barely, but we're doing pretty good for the rest of the run, going into this out of zone 3. Now to the touch and go. And what I do, I'll downshift as I'm going into the touch and go, so I don't have to try to downshift and brake at the same time coming up to the inner clip. So we're going to chase again. So how we do this time. I'm a little too far on the inside already. See, too far inside. You see how it's messing up my line. We continue through, trying to catch up to him, but not hit him. He taps the wall, and when he taps the wall, the rear of his car hits the front of my car, which throws me off and completely like spinning me out. But overall, we're starting to get used to the driving style, get used to the track and the car. Again, with my lead runs, I'm not showing a lot of my lead runs because we were going back and forth with them, just focusing mainly on the chase. But I'm going to show a couple of my lead runs to show how I'm progressing with that. So we're going to flick it in, try to initiate a little bit earlier and snap with more angle. So pretty good in this zone right here, right on the wall. Right on the wall out of zone 2, going into out of zone 3. I'm just left foot braking a good bit to kind of keep the car settled and back it up to the zones. Right there, I flicked it a little too fast and a little too late, which put me off at the inner clip, but we were able to slow down just enough to make it to the inner clip. Let's see how we do in this chase again. Again, I'm initiating a little too far inside of him and his line. I'm way inside right there, which throws me off for the transition. Now we're catching up. Pretty decent right there. And right there, I was trying to dive right back in. I dove a little too fast and I messed around and hit him coming into that inner clip. Let's see how I do in this lead. So we flick in, good angle, good line right there. We got a ton of angle going to out of zone 1. Nice and good out of zone 2. Pretty good out of zone 3. And then the touch and go is textbook, and both of us are pretty good on that inner clip right there. So we're starting to get used to it a little bit. Let's see, I need to give him a little bit more room. I need to start initiating like right behind him instead of beside him, so I can actually get right on his door. So right there, I angled up too much, and then it put me on the inside of the track, and I lost ground behind him. And now I'm just kind of playing the catch-up game just a little bit. I got to back off. And again, I transitioned a little too fast, and I tapped the rear of his car with the rear of my car, but luckily he stayed in it. Now see how we do in this lead. A nice little flick. And I pick up the throttle really quick so I can keep the car at that angle and drive away from the wall. I mean, my lead runs are pretty good overall. Like I said, I'm just trying to focus on the chase with these cars, trying to get better and better at it. pretty much knocked over the inner clip right there. But overall, that was a really good lead and a really good chase. So let's see if we got it together this time. He's rolling coal, ain't he? So I kind of initiated a little too early, which allowed him to get me on the initiation, but overall we're catching up to him. And you see right there, I left foot brake a little too hard and it over angled the car, and I lost a lot of ground from that and pretty much had to straighten. So that real life, that might have been a 0 if we was in competition. Overall, like I said, this time in Lemaire's car, I'm really loving this car. That's why I'm driving it. And I don't know, I like the snappiness and the speed of the car. It just feels really good. Quick flick, get back on throttle. And I like how you can just get right back on throttle with this car. And of course, you can tune all the cars to do the same thing, but you get right back on throttle and it's just digging right out of the corner how you want it or need it to do. Look at that, pretty good right there. And then I wasn't really 100% satisfied with my chase, but I think we ended up doing one more chase run, and then I was kind of like, okay, that was pretty good. Let's see how we go in. Initiate right behind him, right up on his door. I'm a little inside, but we're on his door. Trying to back off just a little bit, give him some space, a little too much space, but a little bit of space so he can get through. We're gonna go to this touch and go, and pretty decent by both of us on the inner clip. But overall, you know, this video is just a short analysis of like how I practice online sometimes with randoms, or even like people from Diverse Tribe Drift. And like I said, if you guys want to play online with me and my buddies, of course, join our Discord at Diverse Tribe Drift. I have the link in the description down below. And if the link doesn't work, because it doesn't always work, make sure that you comment that you need the link. I'll just send the link directly to you, because sometimes the link times out and it doesn't always work if it's been up for too long. But other than that, like I was saying, this is pretty much how I practice sometimes. Sometimes I do it by myself with a ghost, or I'll just do it with random people online. And the reason why I do it online with randoms is because it allows me to learn like a multitude of people's driving styles, so I can learn how to adapt on the fly if I run into somebody in competition in real life, or in an online competition that has a very different driving style than everyone else, or brakes differently, or maneuvers the car differently. You kind of have to like adjust that stuff on the fly best you can. Had a lot of fun driving online, practicing, trying to critique myself with every single run, trying to see where I can improve and where I can do better in the chase position and in the lead position, so that I can be the best driver that I can be while maintaining my level of style and precision. But other than that, again, if you guys like these kind of videos, like these tip videos, gaming, eventually my Mustang content will come back once I get the car running and pretty good and pretty solid. So if you like these kind of videos, make sure that you like, comment, and of course subscribe to the channel, because I will have more coming out over time. And I'll see you guys in the next one.